Good evening, everyone. So today we'll talk about this beautiful world uh, that we have over here, our home, and the reason why we're here, why you think you are in this specific planet living in here. So please remember that everything that I'm going to talk about tonight is according to Spiritism. Okay, so this will be the Spiritist view of the subject matter. And to start, Kardec does that with the work of the highest spirit. He categorized the different type of world that it's out there. So we have the primitive world, and Kardec will say, this is not working for some reason. Okay, and Kardec will say that Earth used to be primitive, so it did evolve to a world of tasks and atonements. And then we have 5 different categories of planets. Primitives, work of trial and atonements, or tests and atonements. The regeneration world, the happy world, and the divine world. Okay? And where do you guys think that we are right now? The second one, yes. According to Spiritism, we are right over here. Okay? These primitive worlds were the ones that actually receive the brand new spirit that individualize themselves through the evolution. Many talk about that, I think last week, about the minerals, the vegetables, the animals, and then it got to the spirit. So at the moment that they got individualization of the spirits and the soul, and the planet that they're going to habit is going to be a primitive world. So those are for the first reincarnation of each spirit, because remember that the superior God, whatever you want to call, keeps creating. And then there is a lot of primitive worlds out there on the galaxies. And there is a lot of worlds of tests and atonements, a lot of regeneration, a lot of happy, and a lot of divine worlds out there. Okay? And we are right over here. Now, what do you think about this? How it is to live on a planet with trials and atonements? How does it feel? We should know this very well, right? Suffering. Okay. Good. So Kardec will mention that the inner quality which they bring it with them constitute a proof of their having already lived and achieved a certain degree of progress. So for you to be here on a planet like Earth, you gotta have certain degrees of progress, okay? Because remember, we are the second category of worlds. But the number of vices of which they are subject also show their great moral imperfection. So this is the reason why we're here, okay? There is a lot. Can you guys think about how wonderful would be a divine world? We have not even idea, what was a planet that, or even a happy world would be. We have no idea yet, right? Because this here, the regeneration that we're going to go next, it's when good and evil are kind of the same. So in this world of tests, of trials that we are, evil, okay, is a little bit more, or a lot more, depending on the progress, than good, okay? And a happy world, you will see more happiness, more good spirits, and that world and the divine is even difficult to describe according to the spirit, to the good spirits. So we are right here, and we're hoping that we can get to the next step, which is the regeneration. And then we will have a good amount of goodness in this world also. Okay? So let's go for the next thing. So why are we here? Because we have a number of vices, and we are in great moral imperfection. All of us. Now, there is a couple one that it's, more evolved than the others between us, yes. But not too much. Okay, we're kind of, almost the same. But there is a little bit of difference. Now, one of the things that I want you to realize is that the world of trial, this world here, it's not only physical. We also have the spiritual world. Okay? And the spiritual world of earth, it's not a happy world. So it's very hard to talk about God without bringing the religion's concept that we've been having for years and years and years. That after you die, you are under the impression that you're going to go to heaven or hell, or you're going to go to the specific place, or you will receive all the grace and all this. So we have to, put all this aside and think like this. We are in a not very evolved planet when the physical and the spiritual world are not that evolved. So it doesn't matter if you receive a communication, a spiritual communication, you have to take that under consideration. Now, there are spirits that used to live here on earth and were great human beings. So let's talk about, to me, Martin Luther King is one of the persons that I admire a lot, or Mother Teresa. They will go to the spiritual world. They will still work over there. They will do many things. But there's still a spirit that belongs to a trial and atonement place. So the spirits don't have all the answers. We have to stop to treat spirit as angels, because even they don't have all the answers, because they still belong in here. One day I had an opportunity to speak with the spiritual doctor, and I asked the simple question, say, why don't you cure every single disease that it's out there? And his answer was, because I don't know. So we are creating a fantasy of hell and heaven. Even believing in Spiritists, we still have the ancient idea that if we die, we're going to pay for everything that we did here. That's not what Spiritism is saying. What the Spiritists say is that after you die, you will just go from one dimension to another dimension. And what you're going to do there, it's up to you. It's up to you. Where are you going to go depends on your vibration. So it's not like you will have a person that judging you and saying that you were good, so you're going to go there. You're bad, so you're going to go here. No, it's a natural phenomenon. You are here, and then when you pass, you go to another dimension, and that's it. You could be here at the center. It could be anywhere. So it's not the judgment day. It has nothing to do with Judgment Day. Okay? So there is, according to Spiritism, there is a higher spirits. Yes, they are. But even they don't know everything. You guys get it? Okay. Okay. So let's go for another one. That's why Kardec questioned every single spirit that brought up any communication, because he wanted to know. And he knows that a lot of the things that Kardec asked, a lot of the things that it was mentioned in the spiritual world, it was according to the language that we could understand. Okay? So let's go for this ones here. So the great moral imperfection goes to both worlds, the spiritual world and the physical world. Okay? So people are asking, Yonara, if I go to the other place, well, why can't we just be grace? People think like that. We will just receive the grace and we'll be happy over there. That's the idea of heaven. And that is not what Spiritism is all about. Okay? You want to say something?
So if I don't know that the spirits, that there are good spirits, or let's say enlightened spirit and not so enlightened, educated and not so educated, I will not know what if they're saying is true or not. I mean, I will believe that if I believe that they are all equal, then we will be like them when we die.
Yeah.
I don't know if I expressed it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yes, it is. So, and this is what a lot of people do. And when they believe in everything that the Spirit's saying, is because they're treating the spirits as angels. And even though if I said to you, I'm an angel, will you believe it? No. So the Spirit might say to the medium that I'm an angel, but that doesn't mean that they are. People lie here, people lie there. It's not because somebody passing that they're not going to lie anymore. They're still lying, you know. And it's up to you to take this out of this mystery, and it's time for us to talk about this subject naturally, not with all the mystics that it's out there. Okay? So it's a natural phenomenon. So great moral imperfection goes to both ways, both worlds, okay? And we are right over here, okay? So another thing that Kardec will say, and now he's talking about the planet of trials. He said, it will be a great mistake to judge that all the inhabitants of a city of those who inhabit the lowest and the most sordid places. In a hospital, so Kardec is making a comparison. He does that a lot. When you read all his books, he likes to compare things to give us a better idea. And he's comparing our world to another world. And he will say that it would not be fair that for us to judge that everybody is the same no matter where you live on a galaxy, for an example. And it said, in a prison, we find gathered together all kinds of, how do you pronounce that? Violence. Baseness and many vices. And unhealthy regions, the inhabitants are, for the most part, pale, puny, and sickly. Well, then picture the earth as a combination, or look at how Allan Kardec described the world that we live, as a suburb, a hospital, and an unhealthy place, because it is all this put together. Okay, this is us. Okay? So, in Buddhism, they used to say that the world is suffering. Okay? And it's not because I don't want to be here to say that, oh, we all have to suffer, this world is full of suffering. That's not what I meant. But I wanted to tell you guys that suffering and pain, it does exist here for us. Okay? And we have to stop with this thing that I wanted to be happy, I need to be happy all the time. And people are having a hard time with these happiness things. Because deep down, this is all that we're looking for is happiness. All of us, that's okay. All of us, every human being are looking to be happy one day. Yes, and here on this planet, we do have happy moments. We do, don't we? But are we happy all the time? No. None of us are. There is always going to be something. That's always going to be something. And there is a difference between pain and suffering. Okay? Because pain is actually something that you feel emotionally in your body, mentally, emotional, physically. And the suffering is the interpretation of that pain. So don't you agree that it's very important for you to interpret your pain? You have to at least know what is going on. And Spiritism comes up with a great answer to that. And Spiritism will tell us that we do suffer because of our imperfections, because of our vices. This is what causes all the pain. And if you don't ask, if you don't interpret your pain, it will become suffering. And if you don't accept, you don't have to agree, but if you don't accept the fact that we all go through pain in this life, if you are focused on being happy, 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 I have to be happy, I have to be happy, I have to be happy, you're going to be very frustrated. And you are not going to take these opportunities that we have to grow, because your consideration is to be happy no matter what. Do we see this in this world? Yes. Do we see people using all kinds of drugs to feel better about themselves? We see that all the time. It's because right now we are selling the image of happiness. With the social media, everybody's happy, right? And then when a few people can't be happy, they start to judging themselves. And it's like, how come everybody's so happy and I'm not happy? And then you see people having a really hard time with this. And those are the people that end their lives because they cannot be happy like everybody else seems to be. And to be honest with you, none of us are really happy all the time. Let's be honest. We all have a few things that we need to work on it. And sometimes when we see the social media, of course, social media we only put the best over there, right? If we're happy, if we have a great time, we go ahead and but usually, most people don't post their pain. First of all, we are ashamed of our pain. I don't know why. I don't know why. Everybody goes through it, and every time you ask, I'm wonderful, happy as can be. Right? And we are lying to ourselves. And the problem is that we want to look good. And to look good, I have to be happy. Because that's what most people wanted to see it. They want to force happiness. That's what we want to do. We want to force the happiness. And there is a problem. There's a problem. Because in this world, in order for us to be happy, we need to work on our vices. That's what we need to. In order to be happy, we're going to have to be more patient. We're going to have to judge less. We are going to have to exercise love more often. We will have to have a relationship with people, a healthy one. Okay? This is what we need. So, this world here, it's all about the tests or the trials, but it's not like God is testing us. It has nothing to do with God testing us. This is part of our evolution. We are here to evolve, to progress. That's what we're doing here. Our progress did not stop. Did not stop. We're still progressing as a spirit, materially, spiritually, emotionally. We're still growing. We're still growing. Okay? So, to you guys, when you see a trial, if you live in this world, and this world is going to be full of trials. That's what Spiritism is telling us. Okay? Why are we, when the opportunity comes to us for the trials, the opportunity to grow comes to the trials, we usually reject that opportunity. Why do we do that? Afraid of failure. Okay. What else? Are we under that idea, why is this happening to me? Why always me? The better question will always be, why not me? But that's besides the point. Right? There is no way that we are going to grow if the tests are not there for us. That's impossible. It feels like we are living in a world of trials, but we wanted to live as if here was a happy planet. This is what we have over here. And this is a problem. Because if anything goes wrong, it takes our emotional stability away from us like this. Why? Why? Why don't we see that as a trial? Something that we need to learn. Because we're still romanticizing everything.
Maybe I'm not ready for the test.
It will happen anyway. It will happen anyway. Now, it's a natural phenomenon of progress. It's a natural phenomenon. So you know, every time in life that you need something, you need to grow, something needed to happen. So then you go. What does your parents do when you finish college? You go, right? It would be easier for everybody to stay under mother and the parents' home, right? Right. But even in Brazil, there is not that happening anymore. But you are forced to grow. You are forced to grow. Just because the only thing that God wants us is for us to be happy. But not the happiness that we're looking for over here. This kind of happiness is kind of an illusion. And if we don't change that, we're gonna to have a hard time with the trials. Do you guys see why? Huh? Do you guys are following me? Do you know why it will be hard if you don't face things the way it is without fantasizing about living happy here? So if you are in pain, what goes to your mind at the moment that you are in pain? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? What did I do? Look at this. What did I do? You did nothing. This is part of life. Now, how can I grow? Why don't we think like this? What is that the life is trying to teach me? What do I do at the moment that something makes me uncomfortable? What is that I do if I can get along with Edson or Rafael? What is that I do when I have relationship problems with people? Do I see this as an opportunity to acquire virtues? No. And that's a problem. Because the reason why we can't get along is because we are too pride, too selfish. We don't want to forgive. We want people to be exactly the way we think it's right or wrong. That's it. So when the opportunity comes, we have to be aware of that opportunity. Otherwise, we're going to waste our lives, we're going to waste our incarnation, we're going to waste everything. We're going to waste everything. And it's normal to have pain in this type of work. It's part of the day. Now, if you live in pain every single day, that's a different story. Now, if you wake up one day and you worry about something, This is part of this life. You need that experience in order to grow. You need the experience the life will gives you in order for you to grow. And even when you go on traffic, when this crazy driver comes in, and there is people that complain about traffic every single day. Every single day. What if I realized, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to use traffic to try to be more patient. Isn't it great? Then you're going to love traffic.
Oh, so I should love menopause?
You should not. You should not love menopause, but you should accept it, menopause, because we all going to go through it.
My husband is not going through it.
Yeah. Not the men. All of us women will go through this. Maybe in your next life, you will be a man. And your husband will go through it. Yes. Yeah. Huh? Andropause. Yeah. They're talking about that now. So it's a thing. Okay? It's a thing. Okay. So in question 1012 of the Spirits book, Kardec asked the spirits, are there any specific place in the universe set apart for joys and sorrow of spirit according to their merit? And the spirits will say, we have already answered this question. The joy and sorrows of a spirit are inherent to the degree of perfection. Each spirit finds the principle of happiness, of unhappiness in itself. What a great answer. Right? This is a wonderful answer. And then the word that we have to talk about it here, again, is the degree of perfection. Let me ask you this. What is your degree of perfection?
None.
None? Okay.
Something you must be.
Let's see. Let's take the word, the virtue of charity. From 1 to 10, where are you? You don't have to answer. Just think about it. From 1 to 10, where are you? Now let's take the virtue of patience.
Not existent.
From 1 to 10, where are you right now? Okay. All right. Let's take another one. Forgiveness. From 1 to 10, where are you? Make that math in your head. Tolerance is when you accept others the ways they are. Tolerance. From 1 to 10, where are you? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. What if we write this down and then we do it a year later and again, and we ask ourselves, am I more patient in 2019 than I was in 2018? Am I doing more charity in 2019, helping others, that I was doing in 2018? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. How is my relationship with other people? Is it better in 2019 than it was in 2018? So, if we don't start to ask those important questions, we will be stuck. And this is exactly what the Spirit is telling us all the time. Most of the people don't grow too much in a lifetime because we're too involved with materialistic problems and dramas and a lot of the things that takes our attention away from within. And then, unfortunately, the pain, we start to accumulate pain because we refuse to grow. And then in questions 791, will civilization be purified eventually so that the evil caused by it will disappear? And the spirits will say, yes, when mankind's moral nature is fully developed. Fully developed. Okay? So, if you want to do one great thing for humanity, do you want to set an example and do a great thing for humanity? Work on yourself. Acquire virtue. Be more patient. Do more charity. Forgive more. Love more. Help others more. Because it's all about the caring and the loving and everything else. And we will get there. We will get there. Eventually. But right now, where people are getting, other people are not getting, and we're like this, but one at a time, we will get there. Okay? So this word is... And then at question 843, and this is wonderful, do human beings have free will in their actions? And then it will say, since they have freedom of thought, they also have freedom of action. Without free will, there will be nothing more machines. Unfortunately, we have free will sometimes. I used to joke about that, but this is the thing, that sometimes there is a meme in internet the other day, say, can you please take away this free will, because I sure don't know how to use it. But it's the magic, right? It's something that we will have to do it for ourselves. Unfortunately, God or the higher spirits cannot do it for us. We have to do it. We already have a lot of things, a lot of literature, a lot of tools to help us to get there. But we have free will. Which means that if we don't decide to do it, we won't do it. It's not going to come automatic. And we have to get out of the comfort zone to do it. And it's not going to be easy to do it. I work with magnetism here at the center every Monday and Fridays. And people are under the idea that I love being here every Monday and Friday from magnetism. I sure do some days, but there are some days that I just wanted to be home. But I come. Because I know that do the good things that we need to be doing it doesn't always come naturally. Sometimes I have to push myself. And sometimes we have to push ourselves to do it. And that's what we don't do it. Because, not today, not today, not today. Not today, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. It's hard. You know? Some things, exactly the same thing happens when we are in pain, no matter what kind of pain it is. The attitude that we have is like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to feel this pain. And that's a problem. Because we are seeing pain today, even like, I don't have it. This is no good. I don't feel any of this bad feelings and bad emotion that everybody feels. A lot of people are like this. They are not in contact with their own emotion. And then you have the ones that that embrace the pain. We have both, according to the way we are. But the problem is that the pain is caused by our imperfection. So the reason for the pain is the imperfection. No matter if you don't want to deal with that or if you want to go ahead and hold the pain, but find what it is that the life is trying to tell you. It's not that hard. And everybody keeps saying the same thing. Is it hard to change? Is it hard to become a better person? Is it hard to get out of your comfort zone? What do you guys think? Is it hard? Because every time we talk about changing, every time we're talking about transforming ourselves to become a better version of us, I always have somebody that's telling me, oh, but it's so hard. It's hard. Yonara, it's hard. So Kardec asked that question to the spirits. Did you know that? He said, are an individual own efforts enough to vanquish his own or her bad tendency? Just the effort. And then the spirits say, yes, a very small effort is often all that is needed. Just a small effort. It is the will that it's missing. It's the will that it's missing. And then he said, it's quite astonishing how few of you make any serious effort.
Wow, that's a slap in the face.
Yes. So it's hard of us, you know, we are not making the effort that we need to do it. Can you give me an example of a very small effort that you can do it and you will live better?
Yes.
Which?
People that is like, let's say, complaining about their, I don't know, pain in their body. Just like get up and take a walk for 5 minutes a day. That little thing, that might help them circulate the blood, it help all the stuff.
What about moral? Let's talk about moral, because that's the important thing here. That's not important, that's important too. But let's talk about the moral. What is that I can do?
Stop gossip.
Oh, there you go. Stop gossip. That's a big one, right, Manny? Okay. How would that affect you?
You realize what you're thinking. If you choose to be careful what you say, then you stop to think about what you're actually thinking.
And how hard it is for you to stop gossip? How much of an effort? How much of an effort you have to put it?
You have to lose a leg or arm.
A lot?
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of effort, and then you always catch.
What is that it's a lot of effort?
Well, there's always certain situations where you know you can't control yourself.
Oh, God, really.
I think it's more repetition. It's not, I mean, maybe
It's a habit.
it's a habit, and you have to catch yourself constantly and make it a habit of not gossiping at all.
And how hard that is.
For me, it's too hard.
Yeah?
Too bad.
We have to be away from him.
I don't think it's really. I think saying something's hard is an excuse to not do it.
Thank
I think
you.
Once you actually do it, you realize it wasn't as hard as you built it up to be in your mind. It's gonna
Exactly.
be hard that way you don't do it.
Exactly.
The effort is actually not that much.
Thank you
Not
so
gossip,
much.
You make the choice and you remove yourself.
Exactly. It's a choice. If I tell myself that I'm not going to do it anymore, okay, I won't do it. And if I do it, I will remind myself, oops, no, I'm not. Forget about what I say. That's not what I meant. It's not hard. It's a small effort. The spirits are right. It's a small effort. What about patience? What can you do to acquire this wonderful virtue that is patience? What is a small effort? What is a small effort that you can do?
Silence. Just turn off the phone, turn off the TV, sit with yourself and your thoughts.
Good thoughts.
15 minutes a day.
Okay. And what is that in order to answer that you have to take, what is that? What happens? What is the trigger that it takes my patient away? What? Willingness. That will take your patient? Oh, what is that it triggers you for losing your patient? Not willing, that's one great answer. Stan is saying that when you're not willing to work on your patient, that triggers you for you to be impatient.
Don't drive too slow.
Don't drive too slow. Okay.
Don't stop on green.
All right. What is that? And what is at the time that you actually, do you remember the time that you actually lost it? You know, you were right there being patient and all of a sudden, even if you didn't react, because sometimes we don't react, we keep it in ourselves. Do you remember what trigger? Did you? Okay. What is that moment of rage? Yes. We all have those, right? Okay. Do we know what triggers our rage? Okay? Yes. When you know that what triggers your rage, then you will know what is the virtue that you need, what you need to do differently. Maybe if you have a little bit of more tolerance, when you don't judge too much the other person, maybe you wouldn't have that many rage things. Now, when is the time to do it? When it's happening. Now. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes also to develop compassion, do exercises developing compassion. We work on that. So next time we find someone that it's difficult to talk or to have a relationship with, because we will develop the muscle of compassion, it will be a little bit easier.
It will be a lot easier. If you have compassion, it will be a lot easier. And the lack of compassion is sometimes the reason for our intolerance, most of the time. So there is not the heart. So if I wanted to be able to, and remember, it's not here, because I'm not telling you anything new. You all know this. You all know this. That's why I'm telling you, it's not here. It's here. knowing this and do nothing about it is what a lot of people do. A lot of people. Okay? Now, when I have this sense that I have to work on my tolerance, I have to work to be more patient, this has to be a goal of your life. If it's not a goal, it's not going to be important. Now, when we set up goals for our lives, we usually do a new house, a new car, a new whatever. It's all involved with material things, which is okay. It is okay. But what about your spiritual goals? Because this is what we need. This is what we need. So when we have that goal, we pay attention. We usually focus on things that actually matter to us. If our progress, our spirituality doesn't matter to us, we're not going to get there. Because what moves us is the will. That's what the Spirit is telling you. The will is missing. Why don't I know that if I wanted to be happy, I have to acquire more virtues? Why am I not doing this job, this work? Why am I sitting here and listening to lectures after lectures after lectures, and I'm not doing anything?
Because you're not making a priority.
You're not making a priority of life, and why not? Why not? How many lives we're going to have to live to realize that? Why?
Pray for the willingness.
Pray for the willingness, yes. Set that inside of you. Set that goal inside of you. Make that one of your priorities in life, together with everything that you wanted to achieve. Your career, your money, that's fine. But remember, spirituality, virtue, morals, there is only one way of doing it, is exercising. Okay? And that's what we are all doing over here. We are exercising. And we wanted to be lazy is fine. But I think it's time for us to make a difference for us. Not for anybody else, but for us. I think it's time. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time. And if you take it, this little test that I just told you about the patients, where you are in 2019, where you are in 2020, where you are in 2021, you're going to see that we're going to grow so much that people won't even recognize us. Because if we put a small effort every single day in our lives, we have 365 days in a year. Think of how much we can grow in 365 days of the year. Every day the sun goes up again and invite us. It's an invitation. Come on, son, grow. Grow. But we have free will. And we can always say no. And this is what we've been saying for years. No. But now it's time to say yes. We can. It's time to say yes. It's time to say yes to life. It's time to say yes to ourselves. It's time to say yes to this wonderful life that it's ahead of us. Because That's the only thing that is missing in our lives. Thank you very much.